students. Welcome back to school. I hope you had a great summer and that you got a chance to make some good music and listen to some good music. Today is our first music lesson. So I want you to think about the different things that make up music. So music is made up of sounds and all kinds of different sounds. So in music, we have very high sounds or very low sounds, or very, 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 very fast sounds, or very, very, very slow sounds. We also have very loud sounds and very quiet sounds, and everywhere in between. So when we're talking about loud and soft and middle and very soft and very loud, we have a special word for that. And maybe some of you remember that, but some of you might not remember it, or maybe we didn't talk about it yet. So that word is dynamics. So this is the fancy word, dynamics, yes. This is the fancy word we use to describe loud and soft in music. So that'll be on, there's a Google Slides activity that has the definition of dynamics on there, so you can look back on that when you do that assignment after this video. So dynamics is our word for loud and soft and everything in between. So the word, there's a special word that a lot of you probably remember to describe soft music, and that is called piano. So piano equals soft. And then there's a word to describe loud, and that is, well, let me move this over a little bit. Forte. Forte is loud. Then we have a lot more special words. So we have a word to describe medium soft, and that is mezzo piano. Mezzo piano is medium soft. So piano is soft, mezzo piano is medium soft, and then we have, we'll need to move over forte, make room for medium loud is mezzo forte. So mezzo is the Italian word for medium. We use a lot of Italian words in music. Medium loud. We need to put our forte back up here. Forte equals loud. So we have also another word for very soft, and that is pianissimo. And that means very soft. Pianissimo, very soft. And then, of course, we have a word for very loud, and that is fortissimo. Fortissimo equals very loud. But of course, in music, it can be very long to write out all of these words. So we shorten all of these to just the letters, just the first letters of the word. So for pianissimo, or actually let's start with piano. So piano is just one P. I think we've learned that before. But very soft, you want to think of that as double P. So very soft is two P's for pianissimo. So if you see two P's in music, it means very soft. Medium soft is mezzo piano, so we have M, P for medium, mezzo piano. And then for medium loud, we put M, MF on music, then that's medium loud for mezzo forte. Loud, of course, is just F by itself for forte. And very loud is double F for fortissimo. These are very fun words to say, so I hope you practice saying fortissimo and pianissimo and fortissimo and forte and mezzo piano and all that. So, one example of seeing these dynamics might be, maybe you would see the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Which one might we sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Which would suit Twinkle Twinkle Little Star the best? Would it be a very loud song? Maybe it's a very quiet song? Maybe it's just a regular quiet song? Maybe it's medium quiet? Maybe it's medium loud? Nah, probably not loud. So we're singing about stars, so it's nighttime. So maybe it'll be on the quiet side. So I'm going to do an example of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with piano. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. We could also sing it maybe pianissimo, very quiet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's about as quiet as I can sing. Maybe it's mezzo piano, so it'll be a little louder than piano. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. If it's mezzo forte, it might go like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. If it's loud, it might go like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Or if it's very loud, how I wonder what you are. So that is the example of all the dynamic markings. So think about which one do you think Twinkle Twinkle Star should be. So just think about that, and you can say it out loud right now. And I'll say what I think. I think maybe piano would be good for that one. Maybe even mezzo piano. But yeah, sometimes a composer wants his music or his or her music to be played very loud or very soft, and then that'll add kind of the mood to the music. Some music is supposed to be very loud and very exciting sounding. Maybe it's supposed to sound like thunder, or maybe it is supposed to be describing tiptoeing. Sometimes music tells a story. So let's think about maybe the different levels of music. And maybe you want to get out a piece of paper and write all the dynamics on that piece of paper, and so that you can do this with me. So PP, pianissimo. One thing that would be very quiet, something that makes a very quiet noise, could be a dragonfly. Dragonfly. Something that makes just a piano sound might be a person, I'm just gonna write the word this time, a person whispering. So I'm gonna write whispering, or that is the wrong way to spell whispering. Whisper, I'll just write whisper. So a whisper could be soft, dragonfly would be very, very soft. Whisper is soft. And then something a little bit louder, but not too loud, could be I think for this one, a good one for that one could be a rattlesnake. Because that rattle, you can hear the rattle off in the distance, rattlesnake, but it's not super loud. So it's medium soft. Mezzo forte, so medium loud, is probably about as loud as me talking right now. So talking would be a good one for mezzo forte, talking. And then for forte, something that's a bit louder than talking, I thought of a dog barking. And then for very loud, I thought of a firework. So fireworks are very loud, definitely louder than a dog barking. Maybe even for a firework, because you can actually put as many P's and as many F's as you want, and then if you add more F's or add more P's, that just makes it either more quiet or more loud. So fortissimo could be 3 F's. So firework could actually be 3 F's. I think maybe a firework is so loud it could be 3 F's. So we have very soft and we have very loud. But let's say we have some music and you don't want the song to be all mezzo piano the entire time, and then you don't want to change like drastically to fortissimo, and you want it to maybe get louder gradually. So over time, maybe get louder and louder. So if I wanted Twinkle Twinkle to get louder and louder, that would be, the example would be if I'm starting at piano and I wanted to go to forte and slowly, very slowly, then I could do this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. But how would we write that in music? So we have to use dynamic markings that are called a crescendo or a decrescendo if we want to go from loud to soft. All right, so I want to show you how dynamic markings might work. So if you have a piece of paper, or maybe the same piece of paper, you could turn it over and write Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are across it or somewhere on that piece of paper. And you can add your own dynamic markings above it, either with me or after I show you. You can make up your own. So some examples of how we might use our dynamic markings is right above them, I want the song to start at mezzo piano. And you can decide wherever you want. So that means if I just put mezzo piano, it's going to be mezzo piano the whole time, even though I just put it at the very beginning. If I want it to change to maybe right here, I want it to change to forte, I put a forte right there. But watch what happens when I just have mezzo piano here and a forte here. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So that kind of changes very suddenly. So if we don't want that to change suddenly, we have to put a crescendo. So I am going to draw a crescendo, and a crescendo looks like this. Kind of looks like an alligator mouth, or maybe a hairpin, or something like that. So if I put the crescendo there, it's going to slowly get to forte. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Since it says F here, it's going to be forte to the end. But maybe you want it to get quiet to the end. So let's say you want the word R to be pianissimo. Then we could put a decrescendo across here to show that you wanted to slowly get pianissimo. So then it would work like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how our dynamic markings work. So you can make crescendos and decrescendos as big and long as you want them to be, or they can be very short. So let's experiment a little bit more of how we want to do dynamic markings. So I'm going to change this to, let's start mezzo forte this time. And then we want to decrescendo to piano. And then we want to get louder again, but only over little star. And we want to get to a forte. And then maybe we want to crescendo to a fortissimo. Even more right here. And then maybe we want to decrescendo right here to a piano. Maybe we don't want any crescendo or decrescendo here, and we want it to just suddenly get loud. So this is gonna sound pretty crazy, so let's see how this sounds. Okay, this is going to be crazy with all these dynamic markings in here, but I'm gonna try it and see if I can do all of the dynamics that I put in here, because I put so many, but we're gonna try it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So that sounds pretty crazy. So if you want to get really silly, you could do this on your own and write out twinkle, twinkle, little star, and then put on your dynamic markings of mezzo forte, piano, pianissimo, forte, fortissimo, and then some crescendos and decrescendos, and you can try it yourself and see what it sounds like. It could sound really funny, or you could sing it and say, that sounds really good. Or you can try it with any song that you like. Also, you can listen to songs maybe that you hear on the radio and try to think, is it mezzo forte? Do you think it's forte? Do you think it's piano? So yeah, think of the songs or the sounds in your everyday life, because sounds make up music. Music is made up of sounds. So when you listen around yourself, try to think, is that a piano sound? Is it a forte sound? And what things in everyday life might have a natural decrescendo or a crescendo? Like, what things might get louder and louder and louder gradually, or softer and softer and softer? Think about that, because I want you to answer that on your loud and soft slide activity. So that will be an assignment on Google Classroom that you will do digitally by dragging. You can click on the pictures and drag them and arrange them on there, and then you're going to tell me at the end of that an example of something that would be a decrescendo that would happen with a sound. So try to think about that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed your first lesson back on dynamics, our special word for loud and soft. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and have fun with these activities. Bye, class.